We now welcome the Commissioner of the West Coast Conference. Lynn Holzman is joining us high above the Orleans Arena floor. Lynn, it's great to have you back on the show.
What's up, Lynn?
Thanks. Good morning.
How are you feeling after the official day one of this tournament?
We are excited to get day 2 underway.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. You got
Yeah.
to pace yourself.
It really is.
Now, I told Jeff, I said, you have a really nice shirt on today. I would have waited until Monday for that particular shirt because it's what you guys are here all week.
Build up.
You got to save your best stuff for Championship Tuesday, right? Or
Well, don't think we aren't saving our best stuff. We raised the bar.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I'm waiting for you guys to follow suit.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been a few years. You're still waiting.
We're learning still.
Red Vines or Twizzlers? We've been discussing that too.
Yeah, early in my life, probably was a Twizzler fan. I think it was probably more because I grew up in the Midwest and they were more prevalent. Since converted Red Vines.
Okay.
Okay.
3 votes. So the 3 people that we have asked on the show today,
Yeah, smart people too. We're not just asking anybody.
Lynn Holzman and
Yeah.
now Steve Cavuzzi, all have gone with
Two
the Red
of those
Vines.
people are very smart.
Yeah. All right, Lynn, this is, a huge effort. And we talk about this every year, like the details that go into it, but it just gets more complicated because as social media progresses and as sports become more prevalent, like the details they add up. So what's the toughest challenge for you in putting together this tournament?
Well, as a staff, when we talk about it, there's a couple themes. First of all, make sure you wear good shoes.
Yeah.
Comfortable shoes, make sure you hydrate, and you figure out when you have time to sleep. So I say that all in jest, but it is serious because as we just referred, it's a very long week and there's tons of things going on and there's new things or there's new people that get involved and you have to make sure that we're providing that great experience for our student athletes and our fans. The toughest thing this week, I think, is just making sure that whatever happens behind the curtain, that we're dealing with it. And the primary thing that we're trying to do is to make sure we put on a great event, and it's a memorable event. For many of our student athletes, for some of our student athletes, this may be their last high-level competitive experience that they have throughout their entire career. That's one of the things I experienced when I finished playing basketball at Kansas State. We want them to leave with a memorable experience. For all but 2 teams, that's going to be a losing experience of their last game, and some aren't going to have that opportunity to go to the postseason at all. So what they experience throughout their career at one of our West Coast Conference schools and here at this championship, which is our premier event, we want them to walk away and look back and reflect about how great of a time and experience it was. It's monumental. It's transformative in their lives.
Yeah. How tangible are those memories for you?
Tremendous. There's things, of course, where I'm like, "Ooh, I missed that shot still." And oh my gosh, I played in the early '90s, and I still can't get it out of my head. Yeah. But it's significant. As I said, it was transformative. The experience of being a student athlete, playing at the high competitive level of the old Big 8 when I played at K-State, and I think back to it today, and the friendships, the interaction, the relationships I had with my coaches, everything. It still is part of my life today.
What's it like to be the commissioner of the league that up until Saturday had the #1 team in the country, still is a top 5 team, and you have St. Mary's? It's been a good year.
It's been an awesome year. On the men's side, definitely throughout the year, we had St. Mary's and Gonzaga were in the top 25 the entire season. So 2 schools from the West Coast Conference in the top 25. Then you had Gonzaga that elevated up to #1 position for several weeks there. There's obviously more exposure, which is one of our pillars and one of our goals as a conference is to provide exposure for our institutions and for our programs. At the same time, there's a lot of additional pressure there because they're feeling the pressure and we are trying to be supportive to what they're doing. Obviously, Gonzaga does a wonderful job in promoting its program and they're used to being on that national stage, certainly. But at the conference, on the public side of it, we have obviously a responsibility and we're trying to be supportive in that way. But behind the scenes, as we talked about last year with the men's basketball committee, as they're working through trying to fill out that field of 68 and they start talking about seeding, and as a conference, we're interacting with the committee members that are assigned to us and we're talking about and promoting our programs. That puts the pressure on to make sure they fully know and understand the high quality programs, high competitive programs we have in our conference, not just Gonzaga and St. Mary's, because obviously those are tournament worthy, absolutely quality teams, but the rest of our programs, BYU, San Francisco, all of them, the competitive level of our conference elevated this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Santa Clara was better, I think, than people thought. San Francisco was better. I believe 5 teams, 20-plus wins?
I believe it's 4.
4, okay,
Yeah.
and I get close to 5 maybe with the 5th. How much does seeding matter as the commissioner when you're talking to the NCAA selection committee, of which BYU athletic director Tom Holmoe is part of that? Wait, you want Gonzaga to be a 1. If they end up being a 2, does that matter that much to you, or are you like, we want a 1?
Well, it matters because I think they've earned it. They deserve it. There's no question there. What their resume looks like and what they've accomplished this year. It matters because it helps with the notoriety and the prestige of the conference. It obviously for the program itself. Seeding, why does seeding matter? Because, presumably you have a greater chance to win.
Right.
Based on who you're matched up against. And it's not just getting teams into the tournament or a team. It's multiple teams, and it's winning games. That's what our goal is. That's our goal in men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball, NCAA sports. That's why we're a multi-bid conference in all the sports that we have, and that's something we're very proud of. We do it right on the court and off the court in the classroom.
West Coast Conference Commissioner Lynn Holzman with us from the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. We're still trying to figure out what exactly happened in Spokane last Saturday, and I don't think that there is any real answer to how BYU wins in the kennel 3 straight years. Like, can you explain that?
No, I can't. That's why we play the games, right? Because on paper, everyone's thinking, oh, we're going to go who's going to win the game.
You print 6,000 newspapers sometimes. Like, it happens.
Because of the excitement behind it. You go back and watch the game after it's done because you're like, oh my gosh, did this really just happen? That same type of excitement is what we know carries into the March Madness and everything. And there's this chance for the perceived underdog to win the game and everything. And I say it like that with air quotes because on any given day, I would put our top teams up against any team in this country. I mean, that's the level of basketball that we are playing here. But to have when you have that type of situation this past week when BYU goes into 3rd year in a row, goes into the kennel and beats Gonzaga, I think that is a statement about BYU and the quality of the men's basketball program, where they're at. Such a young team, and the future is bright. It's looking awesome for that program combined with the other programs that we already have that are at that high competitive level.
What do you root for during this tournament as the commissioner?
I'm Switzerland, neutral, of course. I love the non-conference and the postseason because as the West Coast Conference teams are playing non-West Coast Conference teams, I can actually show emotion and cheer.
Yeah.
So that's the best time. Here in the tournament, what do I root for? That all of our student athletes stay safe. No question with that. We want good competitive games. But it is in a lot of ways as those games are being played, there's a catch-22 because you want the competitive games, you want the excitement. We love it when the unexpected team wins a game or whatever, but at the same time, the catch-22 is that as we look forward to postseason, we still want to make sure there's no, as the committee would term, bad losses. And because at this point, with our 2 NCAA championship teams under consideration, I would say absolutely no question should be in the field. Yeah. It's about seeding. And we want to make sure they have the greatest opportunity to win once they get in.
Yeah, right now ESPN's bracketology has Gonzaga as a 1 seed despite the loss, and St. Mary's a 6 seed. Pretty good. Lynn, thank you for the time. A couple things as you go. Treat yourself to some red vines at some point today, and we'll try and raise our wardrobe to your level. As this
I'll be honest,
progresses.
it's not going to happen. It's too early. It's 9:41. You're legit. We're not.
That's okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lynn. Up